Yeah! Welcome back to the spot. Here from downtown Columbus, Georgia. Beautiful downtown Columbus, Georgia. It's your boy Jonathan Bam Rivers with Team Bam, Believe and Motivate. And we're hitting you with another week of midweek motivation. We made it to week 5. Oh, and we're just getting stronger. We're not slowing down at all. Week 5, midweek motivation. Today's message might hurt a lot of feelings today, but I think it's going to be a lot of truth in it. So I want you to take the truth and run with it. I want you to take the truth and continue to work on yourself. We're always talking about living your life without limits. We're always talking about stepping outside of your comfort zone. But this week I want to talk about something important. This week I want to talk about quality speech. Yes, quality speech. Now, in everything that we do, we always crave quality. In the clothes that we buy, we want quality. In the food that we buy, we want quality. In the cars and the houses that we purchase, we want them to be quality. But yet every day we wake up, there are certain times in our life when we do not exhibit quality speech. Matthew 15:11, scripture tells us that a man is not defiled by what goes inside of his body, but what comes out. Listen to what I'm telling you. A man isn't defiled by what goes into his mouth. He's defiled by what comes out. Like, how much have you been defiling yourself because of the things that you say that are negative? Remember this, negative words lead to negative actions. Negative actions lead to negative results, and negative results leave you where you are in your life. And we know that's not where you want to be. We know that you're destined for greatness. We know you want to move forward, but you have to be able to speak things that are positive. And you have to have quality speech. The one thing you have to do to have quality speech is stop gossiping. Like, stop talking about other people in a negative light. Listen to me. The only time that you should talk about somebody is when you are talking them up. Like, the only time you should bring somebody's name up is when you're trying to encourage them, when you're trying to uplift them. Because what you're doing is every time you speak something negative, that person has to take that behavior and they have to deal with that. And think about it with yourself. When you say something negative about yourself, I'm tired of this job, I can't work, I'm not smart enough, your body starts to exhibit those behaviors of being tired. Your body starts to exhibit those behaviors of not being in position to take full advantage of your greatness. Every time you speak something negative, you're speaking into the atmosphere, you're speaking into the air, and that's what you're gonna get. I told you, same way you have a negative mindset will permeate into negative outcomes. If your speech is negative, you will start seeing things around you that are negative. We talk about the law of attraction all the time. And I've told you this before. Success is not something that you pursue, it's something that you attract. So if you're speaking things that are negative, if you're talking about other people in a negative light, you're only going to get negative results. And remember, you're about the average of the 5 people that you hang around. So if you're hanging around people that are speaking negative things, I urge you right now, I beseech you right now to walk away from those individuals, tell you, look, I understand who you are. You may be my brother or my sister, and I still love you with all my heart, but I will not stand around and be a part of any negative speech because it is not going to put me where I need to be in life. It is not going to help me uplift others. I told you that I'm helping a guy named Al Stewart run for 1st District School Board. Like, we're going to get him elected in May. And if he's trying to get on the school board, his mind has to be positive and his mouth has to be positive. And I spoke to a man yesterday and I told him about Al Stewart, and the man told me he wasn't voting. And I said, why not? So he said, because I don't want to. And I said, sir, I understand, and I walked away. And 5 minutes later, this man tracked me down, and he told me that he apologized. Now, he apologized for the negative speak that he presented to me, and he told me that his wife was ill right now, and she didn't have time to live. And I looked at that man, and I said, well, let's intercede for her right now. So in that moment, even though that individual provided negative speech to me, he corrected himself immediately because he understood the negative impact that his words could have had on me. And we sat there and interceded for his wife, and that relationship from then on was positive because of the positive words that were said. So I want to sit here and tell you, you cannot sit here and minimize the words that come out of your mouth. You cannot minimize the words that come out of your mouth because everything that comes from your mouth is in the air. And everything that's in the air will have a residual effect on you and the effect of others. You have to remember that you are a positive message. And as a positive message, I'm not saying that you have to be perfect, but what you have to do is provide perfect effort. And if your speech is not perfect, then you won't get there. And the last thing I want to tell you before I go is a lot of people have a speech impediment and don't know it. And see, I'm not talking about a speech impediment of somebody who's stuttering or somebody who's sitting there and fumbles over their words. That is not an impediment to me. That is an obstacle to be overcome to walk into your greatness. That is not an impediment. The impediment is your willingness to speak negatively. The impediment is your desire to speak negative thoughts. Some people wake up every day and want to be negative simply because it's who they are. And they want to be negative, so they want to make somebody else negative. So I'm telling you right now, if there's anybody in your life that is negative. You need to tell them, like, look, speak positive things into your life. Speak positive things into the atmosphere. I want you to uplift everybody. The only time that somebody else's name should come off your lips is when you're edifying them, is when you're praying for them, is when you're encouraging them. Because if you want to have a quality life, if you want to have quality lifestyle, if you want to have quality in your family, in your job, and you really want to step into your purpose in life, you have to have quality speech. Hey, it's your boy Jonathan Bam Rivers, Team Believe and Motivate. Quality speech is so important. There's no way that I will be stepping into my purpose right now without quality speech. I want you to take the message today, and I want you to eat it, and I want you to let it digest inside of you. And I want you to think about everything that you say, even if it's in jest. I don't want you to be negative because it will determine your outcome. Hey, don't forget to hit us up on Twitter at JBamRivers. On YouTube, subscribe to the channel Jonathan Rivers, Facebook, Jonathan Rivers Motivational Speaker, and the website is www.jonathanbamrivers.com. We're also on Twitter at JBamRivers. It's a beautiful day in Columbus. I want to hear everything you say be of good quality and of good report. It's Team Bam, Believe and Motivate. Go.